everyone, I'm JD from Willowbound Journals, and I have a new journal to share with you in this video. This is a vintage French journal made out of a beautiful book cover. I picked this up from an op shop, and I love these old vintage books. I, as a journaler and as a book reader and book lover, really love when I can combine a journal, a handmade journal, with a book. There's just something really special about that. So some of my favorite journals are made with book covers, so I just wanted to preserve it just as it was, sort of a bit more rustic, and you can see the aging. Just wanted to leave the front and the back as they were as well, and really, preserve as much of the book as possible. I've used book pages from this book in this journal, but also a whole variety of vintage ephemera and vintage pages and all different types of papers. So the aim with this journal was every single page is authentic vintage papers, and every single bit of ephemera is authentic vintage as well, plus some extra fun goodies at the back too. So I really wanted to just pack it full of vintage and use the things, right? So this is my year of using the treasures, using the originals, using my favorite items. So vintage French is my favorite theme, and to use the originals, it's a bit like, oh no, I want to save those, but I have gone for it. Everything in here vintage, so the originals. So we've got a vintage receipt, and I just love the script to start us off. We've got vintage music paper, and a whole bunch of vintage French book pages are represented, vintage French seed packet, and a wine label. Lots of this came all from France, so that is really fun. Look at these ledgers, they are just gorgeous. Oh my goodness, just really wanted to get a bunch of variety into this journal. It is available if anyone is interested. Just feel free to email me, let me know what country you're from so I can include a shipping price. Love this illustrated one here too, the color illustration. Love these pages, aren't they stunning? We've got a range of vintage ledgers and exercise book pages as well throughout. So just a wonderful variety. Honestly, if I got a journal like this, I would probably use it more like an inspiration journal, where I would rip out the pages to use in collages for my own journaling background pages. Vintage French stamp. So because it's not this journal as much as it is my favorite pieces included in it, my favorite supplies, my favorite materials, the way I have constructed it is not my type of journal. There's way too many of these smaller pages. I don't like small pages in my personal journals. I don't like pages all different sizes in my personal journals, which is, something that I've had to learn. This is a vintage French envelope. How beautiful is that? Oh my goodness. I like my personal journals just to have all the same size papers. And I don't want, as much as I love junk journals, and as a journal artist, I love making journals with that variety, for my personal journaling, just like blank pages where I can fill them all up. So I would use these pages as the things that I fill up my journal with. Does that make sense? And I've seen that around. Sometimes people will sell journals specifically so that people can take out pages, rip them up, and use them in other projects. So I don't know what they call them, like inspiration journals or scrap. I've seen scrap ones too, where they use all different types of papers and scrappy pieces. I've seen like the flowish type of journal where you can pull the pieces out, and I love that idea, but with my favorite pages. So this has got all my favorite types of papers, and so I would love to use those just as beautiful supplies. So if you wanted to do that, you are most welcome to any of my journals. Honestly, you are most welcome to take apart my journals, to rip them up, to learn from them, to learn how to construct a journal from them, to use the pages to construct your own journal. You could, use the feature pages, combine them with your own pages that you have in your stash, any of them, or my botanical journals, my butterfly journals. Feel free to cut those things up and use those pages however you want, or to remake a journal, to remake something that you love. But yeah, you could just use it obviously as a journal if this is something that you like, with all the different types of papers, something a bit more chunky with lots and lots of papers, and all that kind of thing. But I did paperclip the way I like. So as much as I love my journals blank, I want all of the things. I want all the ephemera. I want all the handmade goodies. I want all of that stuff. I just don't want it locked in onto the page. I don't want pockets. I don't want sewing. I don't want things glued onto the page. I want them either in a separate like an ephemera pack, like a bag that comes with the journal, or like this, paper clipped in, so that I can move those around, use them in other projects if I want, use them in a different journal if I want, for my own personal journaling, to make my own tags to put into my journal, that kind of thing. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there in case anyone was wondering. You are most welcome to cut up my journals and use them however you want, whether you want to reconstruct a new journal, whether you want to use the pages and items for different things in your own journals, whatever. My aim is to create something that you get joy out of, and then for you to use it however you get the most joy out of, whether that's cutting it up, whether that's collaging with it, whether it's using it as a journal, whether it's reconstructing it to suit your needs. I provide the base, and then you get the most joy out of it however you want to use it. And here's just some extra goodies at the back, some more book pages and little pieces of ephemera and a napkin envelope. So I hope that gives you some ideas. I don't know if anyone would be interested in that kind of idea of journals where you can reconstruct them and use the pages to, use in whatever projects you want to use them in. But of course, if you don't like that idea, that is totally cool too. You can just use my journals as well. But again, if the journals get too chunky, feel free to rip out those pages and make it less chunky, and then you have beautiful pages to use in other projects. Yeah, this is for you to get joy out of, and you have freedom to use it how you want. So if you're interested in this one, however you want to use it, feel free to email me, let me know what country you're from so I can include a shipping price. My email is down below in the description box. And yeah, feel free to share how you like to use your journals, or what type of journals you like to make, and I will see you in the next video that I share. Thanks for joining me. Bye guys. A big thank you to my beautiful patrons who supported me in August. Thank you so much for allowing me to create full-time and share videos daily. If you would like to become a patron in September, the link is down below in the description box, and that's where you get access to extra videos, sneak peeks of all my creations, and first access to them. You get the journal making series. I do a journal making series each month over there, and printables for the Ruby tier and higher, and mail sent to you for the higher tiers. There's also access to the Intentional Life course and the Marco Polo group if you're interested in that tier. And yeah, check out my journaling courses down below as well. They are open anytime throughout the year.